Welcome and thank you for joining us for Viking Hybrid Talks. My name is Mac Ehrhardt. I'm chairman of Albert Lee Seed, and I'm joined today by Jake Hansen, who is our product manager. And in these videos today, we're going to be talking about the Viking conventional non-GMO corn. And we're looking here at our catalog, and this is the online version of our catalog. It's a nice little flip book that you can find on our website. If you want us to mail you a catalog, if you don't already have one, please give us a call, or you can order one on our website. And the first hybrid we're going to talk about, should back up and say, in this section, we're going to talk about Viking non-GMO hybrids from a 97 day on up through 105 day. So we're going to go from 97 to 105 day in this section. And the first hybrid we're going to talk about is a brand new one that's available this year, and it's Viking 7397. Jake, you want to talk about this hybrid?
Right. So this new 97 day, the 7397, is really up in our game, I think, in just overall hybrid selection and availability of producing and giving you good hybrids to choose from. This one really impressed me all across the board, from one location after another. Very good plant ear flex. Nice moderate height hybrid, doesn't get too tall, not too short like our 5195 hybrid. So it really stands itself out quite well. Consistency across locations for yield was outstanding. This was the #1 hybrid for yield in our ALSH trials last year in that 95 to 100 day range. And not just one or two locations, but across 19 of them. As you can see in the little data chart there, that's ripped right from our internal testing. So another thing about this hybrid, it's a 97 day, but it dries down about like a 95 day. But that doesn't mean the plant is a dying dry and it's going to give up and fall down on you. This thing did exhibit outstanding plant health from emergence all the way to harvest. Never saw any issues with it. Never saw it take on any kind of ear molds or stalk rots or anything. This was just an outstanding eye-popping hybrid that I'm really, really excited to get out there to get on your customers' farms. This thing has been really exciting to look at the last year, and I'm looking forward to what it's going to do this year with different environments, more rainfall versus dry. So I think this one is one to keep your eye on moving forward.
Thanks, Jake. And the next one we're going to talk about is the top of the next page, Viking 4498. We've sold for many years now, and it's been a customer favorite because of its incredible top-end yield potential. And I'm going to let Jake talk a little more about this hybrid as well.
Yeah, so the 4498, like Max said, does have incredible top end, but it also has very good bottom end yield potential as well. This is one that consistently performs on their more marginal acres, where it can possibly go from sandy gravel all the way to that heavy clay. It does have the strength and the grit to get through all of that. Really, it does have good drought tolerance. Like I said, it handles a wide range of environments. It can move south out of zone very well. You can plant this one again in 105 day corn country with ease. The only watch out I really have on it right now is in fields with a history of Goss's wilt. So it does kind of limit its western movement a little bit as we move into the Dakotas. But all across Minnesota, northern Iowa, Wisconsin, all the way out into Pennsylvania, this one did show excellent, plant health, disease resistance. So it is one that we've been very happy with, and our customers have been very happy with over the years. Next up is the Viking 2499 at a 99 day. This was a new hybrid last year in 2023 or for 2024. But this is the one that I think really ups our game on overall disease tolerance, especially to tar spot. Excuse me. I was very, very pleased with the yields on it the past 2 years. It's been excellent yielding. It took stress very well in the drought the last 2 years. Excuse me. But the one watch out I do have on it is very light ground, real sandy ground. It can handle dry land as long as it's under irrigation. But in the absence of rain and irrigation on real sandy soils, it tended to lose out a little bit to things like, 5195 or 4498, some stuff around it that handle those conditions a little bit better. But medium to heavy soils, north to south, going east, very, very strong hybrid. The only downside to this one that I saw the last 2 years, it did have a little bit bigger seed. We're trying to get a handle on that for you. But beyond that, it's one that I've been very happy with. And it could probably is going to take the place of a hybrid that we have step above it in the 9900, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. So here they are. Yeah, they're 200 days. The 9900, like I said, has been an outstanding hybrid for us in the past few years. It's just starting to get a little tired in terms of its overall yield performance. Like I said, the 2499 is a step above it in terms of yield. But this is one historically that has been an exceptional hybrid for us, particularly when you get it into heavy, wet soils. I mean, it can stand through just about everything. From my personal experience, I've planted this on my heavy clay farms, and every time I've done that, the stalks have still been juicy come October. I mean, this thing just stands like trees out there. It's been very, very healthy. Not an overly tall plant, and one that fills an ear out very well. It's just unfortunate. This is one that is starting to, like I said, just get a little tired, starting to get pulled away from us.
Yeah, the other thing about 9900 that I always really liked it is exceptional test weight and grain quality. And that can add bushels, kind of deceptive in the field, where you're not sure if it's going to be your best yielder, but when you start to combine it and weigh it, it actually bushels out really well because it brings such good test weight. The next hybrid is 5200, which has outstanding drought stress tolerance as well as tolerance to high pH soils. And Jake, you want to talk about this one a little?
Yeah, so the 5200, it's actually kind of a half relation to the 5195, which has been our all-time best-selling 95 day. But this is one that, like 5195, push this one west really as far as you want. It can handle light soils. It can handle drought very, very well. This is a hybrid that has an exceptionally strong root system that likes to go down and it likes to find moisture. And it can, in the past 2 years, 22, 23, where the drought has been prevalent, this was one of the top yielding hybrids in those environments. I believe I mentioned in a previous video, my Canton, South Dakota location last year was extremely dry, extremely tough location. This was one of the top performers in that area. So it can handle stress. As Max said, it can handle high pH soils very, very well. It's a nice 100-day complement to our 5195.
Thanks, Jake. Top of the next page. So the top of page 9 is Viking 4602, which has become one of our best sellers because of its outstandingly consistent performance across zones. It's just a hybrid that has done extremely well for us in first trials and university trials and on farms. Just has excellent top-end yield potential, but also really good consistency and very, very good dry down. So it's another hybrid that's available as a pure hybrid. So if you are growing corn on a non-GMO contract for a buyer, this is a hybrid you can call and order and specify pure seed, and we will deliver pure seed to you, and that will guarantee that the seed you plant is 99% free of GMOs. Again, if you do not specify pure seed, then we will not make a GMO guarantee about this or any other hybrid because we don't test all the corn we sell, only the corn that's labeled with that pure badge. Jake, anything I missed about this hybrid?
No, I don't think so. This, you pointed out this one of our quickly became one of our best sellers. At 102 day, I don't really find a whole lot of faults with it.
Yeah, it'll go like literally this one will go from northern Nebraska all the way out to Pennsylvania, all the way across the I-states and just do a really good job in that 100 to 104 day corn country.
Right.
The next hybrid is a new one for us this year as a dual purpose 104 day. Very good top end yields for grain, but also an outstanding silage hybrid both for tonnage and for quality. And this one comes at a nicer price point. It's a little cheaper than our other hybrids because it is a true dual purpose. But don't let that undersell it. It does have excellent top end yield potential as long as we keep it on medium to heavy soils. Probably the watch out on this one is keep it off your really sandy ground. We saw it in 2023 on sandy ground going west. We saw it give up some bushels, but on nice heavy soils or medium soils going east, no problem at all. It's a very good yielding hybrid, competing with all the hybrids around it for top end. And again, bringing that silage potential. Very healthy plant that'll give you a wide window of harvest for silage, in addition to lots of tonnage. Anything I missed there, Jake?
No, the only thing I will say on it, it was uh, one of the top performers for maturity in University of Wisconsin silage trials in 2023. So as Max said, we're not pointing that out for, as a silage hybrid just because we can. It does have exceptional yield and quality silage to it.
Good. The next one is also a dual purpose hybrid, and it's called Viking 5104. We've sold that for many years, and it's been an industry standard as a dual purpose, both for grain and for silage. It's a nice tall plant, fairly healthy, excellent digestibility. And again, this is another one where we think it has its best performance on medium to heavy soils, probably not the best choice for really light ground. Is that a good characterization, Jake?
Yes. Yep.
All right, and then we're going to jump to one that was new last year, kind of a step change for us in terms of yield and health, and that's Viking 8404.
Right. So the 8404, compared to like the 5104, this does really bring a next level yield potential to it. And not only that, but the grain quality is going to be nicer for in that 104 day as well. This is one that it does take us, a step closer to having a real nice, widely accepted food grade type corn. It's not quite there yet, but it's a step in the right direction. So you see with this one, exceptional yields plus test weight. Into it. And another thing that I really like about this one, it does again up our game against tar spot, which has been a yield robber for a few years now, especially as you go across the I-states. This one does handle that extremely well. So, disease tolerance is great. A medium tall hybrid plant, very healthy plant. I personally have this one on my farm this year. And with all the rain, I would think it would start to lose out. But no, it's staying very, very healthy. It's looking quite impressive to me on my medium to real heavy clay soils. And I've also seen this one hide a lot of yield. I was almost under impressed with it last year looking in my observations, but then the yield results came and I was like, whoa. I mean, it really jumped off the page in terms of yield, as you can see down there, taking on the likes of Pioneer and DeKalb with ease. Maybe not necessarily always out yielding them, but is right there with them, competitive. And that's across 12 locations in the heavy drought. So very, very pleased with this one. This is one that I think is going to take us to the next step in that 104 day, especially over something like 5104.
Good, thanks, Jake. And I'll just add to that, in addition to the tar spot tolerance, it has excellent tolerance to Gossa's wilt and very good tolerance to northern corn leaf blight. So really nice, healthy plant and lots of top end yield. Yep. 8405, I know Jake really loves the consistency on this hybrid, but I think I'm going to let him talk about that one as well.
Yeah, thank you, Mac. The biggest thing to keep in mind with the 8405 is consistency. I've regularly seen this one, across the I-states, all the way into eastern Nebraska, up even almost into North Dakota. And this one is finished out and made grain. This is a very, very consistent 105-day hybrid that you can plant in a lot of locations on a lot of soil types. It can handle drought. It can handle heavy ground. It's just a tough hybrid. It's not an overly tall hybrid. It's not super huge for 105-day. And I think that really lends it well to its standability late season. I've yet to see this one have any real bad habits going into the fall. And the grain quality is decent, nice girthy ear. I regularly see this one in the 18 to 20 kernel rows around. So very, very pleased with this one. And we've had a lot of success with it, not just on farms, but also in a lot of yield trials. You regularly see this one, popping up in first universities to right towards the top against a lot of competitive hybrids from Roundup all the way up to Smart Stack. So this one can take on competition really well, can take on stress really well.
Thanks, Jake. And that will conclude this section where we talked about Viking Non-GMO corn from a 97-day to 105-day. If you want to hear about earlier hybrids or later hybrids or some of our soybean varieties, please click one of the other videos in our YouTube channel. Thanks.